Our first match of the evening features Zoila Frausto, who used years of Taekwondo study as a springboard to her pro MMA career, taking on Elisha Helsper, who returns tonight from a 3-year layoff.
Well, first 3 fights, I left huge goose eggs on the girls' foreheads, and second fight, I shattered her nose. They called me Knuckles after that. Well, I'm currently working full-time for the Idaho Army National Guard. Go Army. And I enjoy my job. I'm very blessed that they're allowing me to do this. It's been 3 years since I fought. Fighting for my country, fighting in the cage. Doesn't get any better than that to me. It's a rush. Well, I brought my lucky bracelet. It's from my best friend, my girlfriend, Loretta Myers. And she served in Afghanistan as a combat medic, and she gave it to me. And I wear it everywhere I go, pretty much.
Introducing first to the cage, she stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, official weight 134 1/2 pounds. This Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu style fighter has a record of no wins and 1 loss. Let's welcome the well-rounded, hard-hitting fighter from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Elisha Knuckles Helsper.
Elisha Helsper surely will have some cage rust, but she's up for the challenge here tonight. And to beat Zoila Frausto, she's got to stay on the inside and find Frausto's chin for those lightning-fast punches of hers. Also, to avoid the kicking attack, especially that high kick that Frausto throws with regularity. And take Zoila down and use ground and pound to set up her own version of the submission game.
She's an interesting young lady, to be sure. She comes here from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and she works for the National Guard. She made reference to that. She operates heavy equipment. She's had a lot of other challenging jobs as well, like pulling chain in a lumber mill, not normally something you associate with a woman, and even being, gentlemen, a bouncer at a gentleman's club in Idaho, where she suggested that there were moments when she actually had to use the chokehold to get a couple customers outside.
That really got a smile on her, Pat Military.
I could see her sneaking up on people.
There you go. She certainly did that. Well, her challenge tonight is the undefeated warrior princess, Zoila Frausto.
It's the biggest opportunity I could possibly have. I mean, I've been fighting in little shows here and there, but Strikeforce is by far the biggest. So, big opportunity for me. There's a lot of pressure. I'm fighting in my hometown. You know, I'm undefeated. I'm fighting a girl that has a 6-0 amateur record. I think I'm an exciting fighter. I mean, I love to stand up and strike, and if I get hit, then I come back even harder, and that's just me. I mean, I think I'm an animal when I get in there. Kick like crazy. A lot of people love my kicks. I mean, they're powerful. They're a lot stronger than some of the guys in the gym. A victory on Showtime for Strikeforce would mean the world to me. I mean, that'll be the next step up for me. It'll keep me undefeated, and she's a worthy opponent. So, I mean, it'll do a lot of great things for me, and I think it'll get me out there.
And now, let's welcome her opponent to the cage. She stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, official weight 132 1/2 pounds. With a background in Taekwondo, this Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu style fighter has a record of 3 wins and no losses. Fighting out of Fresno, California, please welcome the undefeated Zoila, the Warrior Princess Frausto.
Zoila Frausto definitely feels she has the advantage in the conditioning department, and that'll be big as this fight progresses. And she likes to strike and try to punch through her opponents. And of course, she's going to really try for that first round TKO. And kicks will be a factor in this fight for the Warrior Princess.
She is, of course, a Fresno resident, so there are lots of family and friends in the audience, including Zoila's dad, who was a black belt in Taekwondo and who introduced her to the sport as a young girl, and that whole history of Taekwondo as she continued to study certainly was important to her. And she mentions that both her mom and her dad very proud of her for being a professional athlete. Both her brothers wrestled, so clearly that's a part of the family. She's a member of Team Wahaway, a team here in Fresno that will have a number of fighters on the card, well represented here as they come before these fans here in Fresno, California. And to look at the tail of the tape, let's bring in Pat Miletich. See what these two fighters have to offer.
Closing age, the height goes a little bit to Helsper. 2 pounds heavier and a reach, but you know, overall I think the reach is going to serve Helsper for takedowns if she's wise and uses them. The legs of Frausto eliminate the hand reach because, you know, Frausto likes to kick so much.
So that sets things up, and let's take a look at the rules now. 3 judges score the fight based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and cage control. No kicks, knees, forearms, or elbow strikes to the head of a grounded opponent. Of course, you know, that came into play in the last fight for Billy Evangelista, who we'll see later on in the main event. So we're set to go. Let's send things up to our ring announcer, Mike Vale.
This bout is in the 135-pound weight division and is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. The referee in charge of the action is Dan Stell.
Let's fight.
We kick things off here in round 1, and Pat, give us a little synopsis of where you see this fight going.
Well, I tell you what, look for kicks and explosive combinations out of Frausto. I've seen her work out before, and this girl's dangerous. She makes any man look bad when it comes to the striking department. Helsper grew up wrestling with men on the high school wrestling team, so she knows how to wrestle. If she's wise, she better get some takedowns.
And they both indicated, though, they wanted to be effective in the standing, and we'll see how well they can do that early in this fight. Elisha Helsper had 2 months of steady training for this, but that comes after a 3-year layoff from the sport after she lost her first professional mixed martial arts match. High kick to the head that doesn't quite get there.
Helsper was actually doing really well in that fight that she lost by a choke. So I think that she's going to be competitive here, especially when they get into the clinch.
Helsper, a low kick by Frausto, and a good jab by Frausto.
You can see that the defense might not be there for Helsper because of her wrestling background. She's not as experienced striking, so she needs to be a little bit careful when she's throwing her shot. She's going to get countered by Frausto.
Round 1 of 3. These will be 5-minute rounds. The women's match is now contested over 5 minutes, which every woman that you'll talk to in mixed martial arts likes.
They want to be treated as equals.
Exactly. And I know you two both are big proponents of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Helsper is going to need to use her kicks to get on the inside to land her fists, because if she just walks in and tries to throw punches, she's going to get low kick. We saw our second Superwoman punch of the evening by Zoila Frausto. Of course, it came up short.
I was going to ask you whether you changed the title of that punch for the women. Kick that misses by Frausto. She's been aggressive with both her hands and her feet early in this fight. She is 3-0 from Fresno.
Frausto waiting to counter, but also Elisha Helsper is doing the same thing. So we're seeing a bit of a stare-off for a second.
Yeah, and I think both, you know, one's cautious about the strikes coming from the other person, and one's cautious about the takedown. So they're both being pretty cautious overall, just worried about ending up where they don't want to be.
Jab that misses by Frausto. She has never had a knockout or stoppage. She's won by 3 decisions, and she told us very anxious to get one tonight against Helsper. And a kick to the head by Frausto, but Helsper says, no, didn't hurt.
Do we see emotions coming into this fight from Helsper? Helsper blocked that high kick, but acted like, hey, there's nothing on it. But I wouldn't drop her hand at this moment.
No, Frausto definitely throws heat with her legs. Nice right hand.
Under 2 minutes left to go here in round number 1. And counter right just misses by Frausto. We have not gone to the mat one time yet in this match. And a good kick to the body by Frausto. Both women have backgrounds in kickboxing, and they want to strike in this fight, and they're sticking to their words and stand up all the way.
What Helsper needs to do is, for 1 second, throw caution to the wind, get into rumble mode, back Zoila up against the fence and start throwing bombs.
A spinning back fist, or at least an attempt at one by Frausto, didn't get there, and then a strong jab by the young Princess Warrior. And we have less than a minute left to go here in round number 1 of this women's match between Zoila Frausto and Elisha Helsper.
I think Frausto is afraid to throw more than 2 punches at a time because she's still leery of the takedown. She's just not committing all the way. And you can see Helsper is kind of being effective with her strikes because of the fact Frausto's worried about the takedown. She's wondering, when the heck is this thing going to come? Yet she gets hit in the face or kicked in the leg.
Little redness around the forehead of Helsper. A Superman punch, Superwoman punch, I should say, that gets there for Frausto.
Frausto getting busy now, stepping into the range of Helsper.
And Helsper lands an excellent jab in return with just seconds left to go here in round 1. Things have heated up.
Time.